All right, okay. So I did forget to mention the selected item. Last video, we added the edit functionality. So we have an edit button that brings up an edit form for the selected item, right, and so on and so forth, and cancel out of that and everything. The when we do that here, we pass the update food item. We pass the food item, and we pass this update the status of it. So it's that's status of the item, but our global status of editing, right? I'm sorry, no, the food item status. That's that one. This one. So we're editing is true. So that lets it know, the application level know that we need to add the edit form instead of the add form, and then the selected items. So if we're up over here, right, and we're editing, we pass selected item in here. That is where the properties come into play, right? So we get the properties from here, and we pass that to the initial value down over here. All right, so this is going to be our food item that we're now editing at this point and updating and everything else. So now we need one more process. Now, our tests are still passing, just so we're clear here. All of our tests for the widgets, and UI, and everything is still passing, which is the key, kind of what I was trying to shoot for here. Now we just need to go ahead and be able to delete an item, right? So let's do that. So in the food item processes, let me close everything again, close all the others. So over here, so const delete food item command is equal to command factory. And in this case, I guess I really only need the ID, but I'll take the full item. This will be an async function. Let me give my state. Give my good old state, right? Here's what I'm going to do. So const items. Let's do this. So my new items, my const items, are going to be equal to the state dot food items. I want the item from the payload, though, or the ID for the payload. So the payload is a food item. So I want the ID, and the items are going to be equal to the food items. I'm going to filter out everything not that ID. All right. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to say x dot ID not equal to ID. So now these items should be all of the food items that are not the ID. So everything is not. So I'm getting rid of the other one, right? So I'm filtering it out. Now what I could do is I can say state dot food items is equal to, and do some destructuring here, the filtered items, right? That's how you can just do it based off of the state. So I don't have to do any slicing and dicing or splicing and craziness there. So let's go ahead and do a copy this. I'm getting tired of writing that. Okay, so delete food item and all that. Delete food item, and this is going to be the come on, spell delete food item command. Bam, there we go. So let's go back to our food item list now. And okay, because my digit here, or my widget, sorry. Oh, that's old school Dojo digit. Freudian slip, right? Update my test, and real quick, run the test. It should fail because my food item list. I now need to bring in that particular one, delete, right? So delete food item, and I'll just say const delete item is equal to store executor delete food item, like so, and then on click here, click equal to, oh my gosh, there we go. And it's going to be delete item, CRUD item. That should do it. Let me run the test again just to make sure it works. That works. Let's run it. It works. Build. Halfway there. Okay. Second here. I don't want to add that default item here. So let me here? The item list? Where was I doing this? Where was I defining that? Anybody remember? I don't remember. Oh, it's in the process. Get rid of that. There we go. We'll just say it's empty. Okay, build. Okay, so there's no items in there, so let's add beer. Beer is going to cost $10. Boom. Let's add a sandwich. Sandwich costs $12. A sandwich. All right, so now we want to edit this and say sandwich costs $15. That's a really good sandwich. Update. Let's add another item. That's cookies. Need some dessert, right? Cookies are going to cost $8. Because damn good cookies. All right, let's forget the sandwich. And let's forget the cookies. Drink the beer. And that's it. So that's the full app. Just quick little review on everything we did. All our tests are passing, so we actually wrote tests for all the widgets and everything using the assertions from Dojo to build out the whole test suite, which I really kind of like. It's kind of nice to write what I expect my UI to look like in my test, and then to write the widget to kind of match what I'm expecting, and then I can do some tweaking here and there as things go on. If I know I need to add click events and any kind of event handling there, I can do it inside of the test and then write in my widget. It's just kind of a nice playground to validate what I'm planning on doing. Forms are really cool in Dojo. I really like the fact that I have this form middleware to work with here. It threw me off a little bit when I first started it, the fact that the child of a form was this function. I was just kind of expecting to throw text inputs right on here directly, but no, you have this function coming in here. But it makes sense. After I've used it a couple times, I really like it a lot because I can do the whole required fields, the validation and everything. The one that tripped me up a little bit here was where I have to convert to the number, which isn't a big deal. All right, let me give it a console to see that. But yeah, I think this is a really nice way of approaching building out forms and everything. I liked it. I thought it was a cool way to put it together and putting this list together. The other main thing here is the stores, right? So you have your middleware store and you have this executor here. It's a lot like if you do Redux in Dojo. You dispatch an action, essentially what you're doing here. These are your like dispatchers in here. You're working with Redux or something. And then this is your action. But the actions, instead of having them be passing a name for the action, you just have separate methods for all your different actions, right? And you're just dispatching updates back and forth. And that's all, again, handled here in the processes, commands and processes. So you can think of commands. These are like the low-level work. This is where you would communicate with like a third-party APIs. You'd run all your fetch queries, whatever else you need to do to some REST API or GraphQL even or something. You do all that in the command. And the process just kind of exposes those commands as a public API in your application. What we didn't really need to do much here is the fact that I could run multiple commands in parallel and stuff, which is really kind of nice thing to do if I need to do multiple updates. I probably could have done that with like the editing stuff where I need to update the application state plus any edits that were made to the individual item itself. That could have been two parallel commands happening at the same time. But I didn't need to. It wasn't really necessary. But still, just kind of nice to know that I could have, right? So there you go. You'll find a link to this app on GitHub in the description below. So give me a like, give me a subscribe, you know the deal. See you later.